Hello, just going to run through another one now, another branding example from last year. So I'll just share my screen. Okay, so let's just put that to one side. Just going into it now. God blimey. So I showed you my Barber's Misfits. I think now I'll show you Mike Cardwell Clarke's. This one might be familiar to some of you. This is Vantage. A team of CAA-approved drone pilots and experienced photographers coming together to provide a new perspective, creating a new and dynamic content. The company's style is based off the aerial perspective of a drone observing a typeface from above. The brief: design a brand identity for a drone photographer company. So that was basically the brief. So this is again, like I showed you last time, this is the presentation in its static form. And what we have here, and what Mike did was he had the letters cut out of perspex and he photographed them. So what you're looking at is the photograph of the letters were very tall, taken from above with some light cast on them. So giving that idea of depth and tall. So this is the main brand identity, the shadows cast by the long, tall letters looking from above. So so that's the word mark and a couple of variations, just showing how it moves with the time of day and the lighting and things like that. So that is the main word mark. Letterhead, invoice, and envelope, or invoice, letterhead, and envelope. So again, what he's showing here is again a nice adaptation of how the identity would work. So on the letterhead, the one in the middle, it has the main Vantage identity down the side. The letter, obviously on the letterheads, always you need to show the letter actually how it sits on a letterhead, and then he's got the type which runs in blue in 3 different blocks with the main details on the address and the telephone and the actual details of the company. And that's exactly the same on the invoice, apart from he's laid out a mock invoice and put the word invoice on it. And then you can see how the envelope works as well, where he's put the word mail on the outside of the envelope. And he's beginning to introduce the little kind of crop marks around the box on the address label. So when you look at those, nicely laid out. Invoice, letterhead, envelope at the top in small text, range left, and then the 3 examples of actually the application of showing how his identity and his word mark would work and how he can use the word invoice and mail. Compliment slip, front and back as well, and then the business card. And what the business card does, it opens out. So standard business card size is about 55 by 85 millimeters. You can use both sides, but also it's like another medium where you can actually sort of do different things with. So this one actually sort of extends out, so it will be concertinaed just to show an aerial view on the back side. But again, extending that idea of length. I suppose a compliment slip does that as well. So he's deliberately showing the compliment slip portrait and the business card and how it comes out. So to combine there, what you have is a set of stationery. Comp slip, letterhead, envelope, invoice, and business card. T-shirt, again with the word crew on it. So an kind of appropriate application, I suppose, for when they're out and about with the drones, both advertising or making a piece of garment, for the company, and also up here as well, a little tiny badge that says Vantage logo. How it would work on the outside of their main headquarters. So again, the lettering would stick out here, so it sticks out at a vertical angle, and the shadow. So this idea works very much on kind of like the shadow of the letters cast, very tall letters. A nice, the crop mark as well on the top corner. Nice little touch, aerial drone photography just above the door there, and you'll see the crop mark coming in a minute. Obviously relevant, the vans that would continue that would contain the drones. Nice idea here, showing how the side of the van would have the identity on it, and then looking at it on the bonnet. But the main idea is basically the back of the van and the top of the van. showing crops of actual photographs taken from the drone. So again, really nice idea on the top of the roof of the van, and appropriate. But also, if you're stuck behind it in traffic as well, you can also see the back of the van. So the top and the back of the van are the two main areas. And also, he's introducing the style of photography as well. Focusing on a new perspective, airborne photography, focusing on a new perspectives to provide a unique dynamics and content. So this is a kind of a static billboard, but again, the nice use of photography. The sort of not out of in focus is the actual sort of top of the architecture building in London, the Gherkin, but also he's beginning to bring in the crop marks as well, the kind of frame crop marks, the right angles in the four corners. So nice layout, and then looking at the homepage on the internet, just showing how it would work. Look at the kind of splash page of Vantage, then About Us with a drone on it, then the gallery of shots, and then another gallery shot, but really well laid out. And another thing to notice here as well, you don't necessarily have to show it in context. He's just using the aspect ratio of a screen to show it. I know that some people have been putting their presentations onto pretty bad templates, really. So you just show the idea off, for the web and home. It's quite simple. And then the sort of transition, how it would possibly work as well here. So that the Vantage would come in and using the focus for crop marks of the actual screen to sort of highlight it. So that was kind of. Oh, sorry. I think that's kind of like the kind of simple, nicely laid out kind of the assets. So if I escape that now, and then we can actually look at watch Michael's film. So he's taken, as I said last time, taken all those elements and then storyboarded them, looked at different transitions. I think what Mike is very good, and Mema as well, they've looked really hard at good examples of layout and how to basically good films on D&AD sites, and past students as well, how past students have put presentations together, because that's where you're going to really kind of find all the nice stuff. So yeah, here we go. So there you have it, about 1 minute and 6 seconds, maybe a little bit shorter. No sound on that, so I'm just going to play that again because I can talk through that one as well. So I'll just play it. So as you can see, he's using the 4 crop marks here on the outside to introduce the Vantage logo. We are the aerial filming and photography specialists, and these 4 crops really come into their own. Nice little transition there. So and introducing what they're about and how he actually sort of uses the crops to bring in some of the items. This is quite nice how he demonstrates how the envelope would work. A nice transition there, how the letterhead opens up out the envelope, and then into the context. So now a little bit more context, and you can see from the first static presentation how it can come to life by just putting a very simple kind of a bit of movement onto an actual template of a screen, and he's bringing in the sort of the 3 or 4 aspects down the side, About Us, gallery, and contact. So yeah, finishing off with the contact details, Vantage. Nice sort of ending as well. So there it is, really. And again, I watched that a couple of times with you. A really good example. A really good example there of, again, the 2 things. The initial presentation, PDF, which has all the elements on it, and is laid out in one kind of way, and then how with the storyboarding and a little bit of thought, how you can really bring that to life a little bit more in more of a dynamic way, tell the story a little bit more.